You've probably heard an ElevenLabs voice without even knowing. Now they're worth $6.6 billion and staff are cashing out $100 million. I'm going to break down levers that you can copy. Welcome to FirstGen, where I share business insights and news for founders and business leaders that are first in their family to start or run a business. I don't just share the what, but the how. So who are ElevenLabs? Well, they're an AI audio company that turns text into natural sounding speech. You can design or clone a voice and use it for voiceovers, videos, games, and more. They started in 2022, and their mission is to make content accessible to all, in any language and in any voice. And now they've doubled their revenue to $200 million in just 10 months. So here are the 4 reasons why they've been so successful. Firstly, they made super realistic AI voices. ElevenLabs built the most lifelike AI voices available, and this is what made them stand out. This was perfect timing because game studios, creators, and companies were looking for voice technology that felt real and emotional and not robotic. Matty, the CEO, talks about their big breakthrough being that they created voices that people actually want to listen to. And they invested their time and energy into not just making voices that were different, but the best on the market. They didn't try to do everything at once. Their AI needed to be reliable and work in many different languages and easy for anyone to use. This focus allowed them to outpace bigger and slower companies. Now, let's look at what Salesforce Venture said in their blog about ElevenLabs. So, ElevenLabs' goal was to create voices that sound truly human, capturing the full spectrum of elements like emotion, tone, pitch, accent, and even subtle imperfections. Each of these factors contributed to how meaning is conveyed. Different cultures and languages also bring unique expectations around how voice should sound and make these nuances even more important. The ElevenLabs team adapted voices for different use cases and demographics. So for example, they had slower speaker voices that older callers better respond to. Or they had regional accents for Spanish speakers. And their aim wasn't necessarily to create perfect voices, because imperfections in AI voices can actually be more engaging, according to Matty, the CEO. You can really tell that they really honed in on making their voices sound as lifelike and human as possible. And they were super focused on product quality. And if we go to another example from Matty, where he actually says that they were focused on making sure that their voices were as good as possible. And that was their number one priority. They didn't want to create anything else until they were absolutely certain they nailed it. Again, as I mentioned earlier, they were focused on doing one thing right and doing it really well. Secondly, they built it for everyone. Instead of just choosing normal people or big companies, they decided to serve both at the same time. They made it super easy from indie authors to Fortune 500 companies to use in different ways, such as videos, podcasts, games, audiobooks, localization, and more. And if we go to the Salesforce Venture article again, they mentioned that from the beginning, ElevenLabs combined product-led growth with an enterprise sales motion. And Matty, the CEO, talks about the fact that this approach was directly connected to their research work. They were investing so much time in building these advanced AI models, and they needed to get them in front of customers quickly. A lot of people are building products and they don't even know if it's addressing their customers' needs. Get your product out there and let your customers tell you what they need. Lastly, they tapped into viral growth. Their product was so good that creators talked about it, shared voice samples, and created viral content using ElevenLabs tech. There are many examples where a viral video, meme, or creators experiment brought in a huge wave of new users. This powerful word of mouth marketing allowed them to keep their costs low and also help them to grow very quickly. And I'm going to play very quickly an interview that Matty did with Sequoia Capital, talking about how they leveraged this virality.
with subset of users. And we had a lot of book authors in that subset. And we had this like literally a small text box in our product where you could input the text and get the speech out. It was like a tweet length effectively. And we had one of those book authors copy paste his entire book inside this box, download it. Then at the time it was most of the platforms banned AI content.
Okay.
He managed to upload it. They thought it's human. He started getting great reviews on that platform, and then came back to us with a set of his friends and other book authors saying like, hey, we really need it. This is incredible. And that kind of triggered this first like mini virality moment with book authors, very, very keen. Then we had another similar moment around the same period where there was one of the first models that could laugh.
Okay.
We released this blog post that the first AI that can laugh. And people picked it up like, wow, this is incredible. This is really working. We got a lot of the early users. Then of course the theme that you mentioned, which was a lot of the creators. And I think there's like a completely new trend that started around this time where it shifted into no face channels. Effectively, you don't have the creator in the frame, and then you have narration of that creator across something that's happening. And that started going like wildfire in the first 6 months of the work, where of course we were providing the narration and the speech and the voices for a lot of those use cases, and that was great to see. Then late 2023, early 2024, we released our work in other languages. That's one of the first moments where you could really create the narration across other most famous European languages, and our dubbing product. So that's kind of back to the original vision. We created finally a way for you to have the audio and bring it to another language while still sounding the same. Mm-hmm. And that kind of triggered this other small virality moment of people creating the videos. And there was like this, the expected ones, which is just the traditional content, but also unexpected ones where we had someone trying to dub singing videos.
Okay.
Which the model we didn't know would work on. And it kind of didn't work, but it gave you like a drunken singing result. So then it went a few times viral too for that result, which was really fun to see. And then in 2025,
I'm just going to pause it there. And Matty goes on to give a few more examples of different viral moments that they were able to leverage and really drive their user base. Now, they clearly tapped into this virality. So how are you tapping in and building in virality into your product? So what are the key lessons that you can learn as a first genner? Well, firstly, do one thing really well. As you can see, ElevenLabs focused in on making the best voices on the market, and they didn't distract themselves by doing anything else. Secondly, make it easy for your customers to use. Don't overcomplicate things. A lot of people want to overcomplicate their product. That's not the way you win. You win by making it easy. And lastly, think about how you can build virality into your product. Instead of spending thousands, hundreds of thousands on Facebook ads or Google ads, think about really smart ways that actually you can allow your customers and your users to drive the growth of the product for you. If you got some useful insights from this video, give the video a like and subscribe to First Gen, where I share business insights and news for first genners, also known as those who are first in their family to start a business or lead a business.